right, time to get the Paw Industry 8 o'clock hour up and rolling. You can go by and see them for all your heavy machinery needs. That's right. When you think about heavy machinery, you should think Paw Industry. When you think about heavy trucks, you should think about Paw Industries. That's right. That's what they're doing. 804 Loving Highway. You can call them at 549-8100. Well, I tell you what, that taxi pulled up, door opened up, Joe gets out, Joe the Bryan Insurance guy, and today we have got a grab bag of things to talk about.
Yes. They call that hodgepodge.
Everything from bicycles to SUVs.
Yes. It's a mixture of everything today.
A mixture of things.
Thought I'd kind of just do a little bit of a wrap-up today on some, kind of looking at the stats, looking at numbers and stuff. Everybody loves numbers. So I wanted to start off by just kind of looking at some reports that I found the other day. Thought this was kind of interesting. With spring season coming up, we've got the Possum Pedal coming up here in a couple of months. Got some new routes, which will be great. Normally they all went north. This year most of them are going south. So if you're a bicyclist, if you're a cyclist out there, take a look at the Possum Pedal. It's going to be a pretty cool event that is done here in Graham. It's going to be an awesome day. But looking at the top 10 most dangerous states for cyclists, and thank gosh, with the Possum Pedal coming, that Texas is not one of these. So if you look at the top 10 most dangerous states for cyclists, so you're thinking, hey, I'm going to go on vacation this summer. Maybe I'm going to bring my bike, take a nice bike ride. Stay away from Florida, Louisiana, and Oregon for sure.
Okay, Florida, you have a lot of tourist traffic. Oregon, I'm not sure about. Louisiana, they're just crazy.
Yes. If you look at Florida, for example, it's the most hostile state for bicyclists. They say, and this is according to a report done not too long ago, that they have 6.56 petacyclist fatalities per million people in 2011.
Wow.
I don't know who that 0.56 of a person is.
I'd hate to be that guy.
Yeah. I guess that's just a rounding thing. But they also say, 6.56 per million people. Louisiana and Oregon, of course, follow close behind with 3.93 and 3.87. They say that in Arizona, the city of Phoenix alone averages between 450 and 500 accidents per year involving bicycles. So
I can tell you why on that one.
Tell me.
It's so hot in Phoenix that the tires melt and they get stuck. And
they get stuck in the ground.
Stuck in the ground.
I mean, I guess that's one way to do it. But so just be sure that if you're out there, it's kind of neat. You know that spring and summer's coming. At least I do, because on the way home, I start to see a lot of folks cycling out. There's actually a group of folks that'll cycle out south towards the Wildcatter, and so just be mindful of that as the weather gets better. If you're a cyclist, do the best that you can to let everybody know that you're there. Cycling at night, whether you have lights on or not, is probably never a good idea.
Neon colors.
Oh, yeah. Get as bright as you can.
Yes.
Get as bright as you can. Put as many lights on yourself as you can, even in the daytime, because it's one of those things that, as a driver, you want to be sure of kind of all your surroundings and kind of what's coming up and stuff. And, we're real good about watching for deers and hogs and stuff like that. But bicyclists, you got to make sure you're on the lookout for them, too. So cyclists do your part, drivers do your part, and let's keep everybody safe.
Exactly.
Looking also at some vehicle thefts.
Theft of vehicles.
Well, that's stating the obvious, Rick.
Helping you out.
We're going to look kind of at both ways. We're going to look at some folks say, well, hey, SUVs are the ones that are stolen the most. Others, hey, I'm going to get a small vehicle. Well, we're looking at the top 10 smaller vehicles thieves target the most. And so we're going to run them down here. If you've got one of these.
I bet I can guess what number one is.
Tell me.
Honda Civic.
No.
Something different.
Yeah, it's going to be. It's going to start off with your Toyota Corolla, followed by your Ford Focus, Honda Civic. So you're close. Nissan Versa, Nissan Sentra, Hyundai Elantra, the Mazda M3, Toyota Yaris, Volkswagen Jetta, and the Kia Forte. So I think part of the reason why most of these cars are on this list are because of parts.
Parting them out.
Yeah, pretty much. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're going to steal these vehicles to part them out. A lot of times, that's why you'll see insurance rates on these vehicles being higher than normal. Now, for years now, we've seen truck insurance,
right?
Just regular old half-ton truck insurance has been higher because a lot of times vehicles will be stolen for their parts. A couple years ago, the big thing was stealing tailgates.
Yeah, I know, because I had a lock on mine.
Yeah, I've got a lock on mine as well. I think it might be broken, but
that's a good thing you let everybody know that.
Yeah, well, and hey, for all you criminals out there, if you want to steal the tailgate, you just go ahead and take the whole thing, all right? Yeah, so that's the reason why truck insurance has been higher than, say, a car, is because they steal them for their parts. But on these smaller cars, it's so much easier to take those things, strip them down, and because the parts, regular parts for those things, if you get them from a dealership from like a fender bender, which I'm sure we're going to be getting a lot of calls from those in the next couple of days from all the icy weather we've had. But parts for those things are pretty expensive. Thus, thieves will go out, they'll take them, they'll part them out, and they can make some quick cash on those things for parting those suckers out. So just be aware of that. We're going to switch gears a little bit and look at the 5 most stolen SUVs that are out there.
Speaking of those small cars, you know what kind of car Jesus drove?
Tell me, Rick.
An Accord. They all came together in one Accord.
Oh, look at that.
Okay, just let you know.
Look at that. So, looking at it, according to the NICB, CUV thefts or SUV thefts totaled 73% of thefts, and SUVs only making up 27%. However, the SUV premium had the most unrecovered theft ratio recorded at 33%. So top 5 models that get stolen were, once again, Ford Escape, Ford Edge, Ford Explorer, the Jeep Grand Cherokee, and the Kia Sorento.
Why are Fords so popular as far as SUV stealing?
I think because the Ford themselves sell a popular vehicle, and there's a lot of them out on the road.
There you go.
So there's a lot of them out there. So they say thieves in California more than double the theft rate with 3,531 cars stolen when compared to other top 3 states like Florida. Once again, Florida's on the list.
Florida's on the list again.
And Michigan. Boy, Florida's on the list of a lot of things.
Right.
Top 10 good, top 10 bad, all kinds of stuff.
High prices.
A lot of things in Florida.
A lot of orange juice, too.
I'm from Florida. Does that say something about me?
There you go.
There we go. Final thing we're going to look at today, folks, is number of uninsured Americans. And we're talking about uninsured. We're not talking about auto or home or anything. Talking about health insurance. Now, had a few changes with open enrollment. Actually ended, we thought, on the 15th of February. But they've actually opened it back up again, and it's kind of a weird opening. But it's a special enrollment period, an SEP they call it, for folks that did not have insurance in 2014 and had to pay the tax penalty. So they did this from a person who getting ready to file their taxes and said, "Oh, you were serious about that whole I got to pay a penalty thing."
Right.
"Oh, I didn't know, even though for the past 2 years I've gotten bombarded with I've got to get it, I've got to get it, I've got to get it." Oh, that was me. So if you paid the penalty in 2014 and forgot, which again, I'm not sure how you did, but if you forgot to sign up for health insurance in 2015, you still have to pay the penalty for 2014, and you'll still have to pay the penalty for the portions of the year that you don't have insurance in 2015. But they're telling us coming up on March 15th through April 30th, you'll have the opportunity to enroll in health insurance again. They call it a special enrollment period. For all the details, facts, and figures, you can give us a call, Bryan Insurance, 549-2525. Be more than happy to sit down with you, kind of go through your situation, see if you qualify for some tax credit savings, or just need to get some health insurance. We'll take a look at your situation. But it was supposed to be the other way around. It's supposed to be everybody was supposed to get health insurance, and the numbers were going to be high, and everyone's going to be covered. And it's actually kind of gone the opposite way. So a lot of folks are finding out that the government issued health insurance is just not as cheap as a lot of people thought it was going to be. The numbers. Typically, when you have a lot of people that come into a marketplace, it drives the price down because there's more demand for it. But, we're not talking about like a gallon of milk here or something like that. We're talking about health insurance. And one thing I always tell folks, unlike auto and home insurance, it tends to fluctuate year to year. Health insurance is always going to go up. And what we've seen from last year to this year, for example, when renewals came out, we saw anywhere from on the low end 7 to 10% of an increase to on the high end 24 to 26% increase in cost year over year. And that's a sunk cost. You're going to pay that before before you ever pay anything to see a doctor or procedure or anything else like that. So costs are on the rise, and I think a lot of people kind of got shocked by, oh my gosh, I didn't realize it was going to be that expensive. So there are some tax credit savings that are available to you if you qualify based on income. Be more than happy to sit down, kind of go through that with you, and see if you qualify. And let's just make sure that if you need some coverage, let's get you coverage and answer any questions you may have about it.
Now, folks, to get a hold of you, I know there's phone numbers and websites and all that good stuff.
Simple, easy, 549-2525. You can come on up to the second floor of the Sierra Bank building, give you that free elevator ride as we always do. And also check out our website. I was doodling around on there the other day. It's got a lot of great information on there. It's Bryan with a Y, BRYANINS.com. We're also on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. So check us out. Let us know how we can be of assistance to you, and let us make sure you're covered the way you need to be.
Get her done at Bryan Insurance Agency, serving the entire Lake Country area for almost 100 years. Thank you, Joe. Appreciate your time.
Thank you, Rick.
All right, we've got the Paul Industry 8 o'clock hour coming up. Sports on the way, so stick around.